welcome back to Soul Mechanics. That probably clipped off my hello. Fucking camera takes a second. Anyways, Sweetycheeks and I are here tonight. I present to you lovely Madam Super Sweetycheeks, Megan Lee Ramsey. And of course, I am Donovan. Dallas, various other names, host of the channel. I apologize that the lighting is poor, but she doesn't want you to see her.
What? It also is 2 o'clock in the morning, and I look like I'm about to pass out.
So,
but what else? I'm in it to win it.
Our dear brother sent us sent her a video about feminists wanting dominant men, and we are going to do a response clip here real quick. We're going to watch this video with you, technically. I mean, we'll show it to you from time to time, but you don't really need to see it. It's just a dork with the glasses talking, but...
And it could be very weird and dumb.
Yeah.
My brothers.
We don't know what this video is going to say, but we're going to respond to it. But basically what the dude is saying so far...
42 seconds in.
42 seconds in, this guy is talking about something having to do with statistics or studies or some data showing that feminists prefer dominant men. Now...
And I want to stress the use of the word data loosely. We have no idea who this dude is,
right,
or what the hell he's talking about, or sourcing.
Yeah, we're not responding to what he's responding to. We're responding to him.
It looks like the article is on some kind of what's it say?
Women married to...
I can't see what it says. It's super small. Anyway, it's some kind of newsy type of website.
Plum Fist? I don't
that
know.
Wouldn't surprise me with my brother, but it's like a newsy type of website. Anyway, the article that he's got popped up, the thumbnail on his video he's talking about, which I don't think it's specifically relating. I think he's just using it as a little thumbnail. Woman married to perfect feminist man wishes he would cheat on her. I'm so bored, quote. So, my first impression is that this is probably a fake article.
Maybe.
And it's a stock photo of a chick. It seems like kind of a weird subject to just dive into, and it seems very fake to drum up some conflict online.
Yeah, but it's a cool topic anyway.
No, it's fascinating.
Feminism is... I'm sorry if anybody's going to fuck with us on this, but feminism's kind of out of control. The incel thing is out of control. What we got here 42 seconds in is that this dude's talking about studies showing that women are attracted to dominant men. Well,
to
no
confident
fucking shit.
men, he used the word confident, which is
the word confident.
absolutely true.
Of course, women are attracted to confident men.
That's always been true.
People are attracted to confidence, period. And anybody that's following up with the initiative, anybody that's involved or even knows me on Facebook will know I just posted this complaint about an offense. I felt as though there was an offense committed on me by someone who is actually a founding member of the initiative, who should know better than to behave the way he does, but he's kind of against being prideful and being confident for reasons that it seems on the surface pseudo-intellectual regarding Buddhism, that he's, saying it's egotistical, but he's just, it's all skewed, and we'll make another video about that specifically, actually, but...
At the end of Pride Month, I would say that's pretty weird.
You'll know that, I personally, and we both are big fans of being proud. My shirt is awesome. We're big fans of being proud of ourselves, being confident. People are attracted to confidence. It's the laws of attraction, and the law of attraction works with confidence, through confidence. So, not only is there nothing wrong with being a confident person and being proud of yourself, but it is in fact the way that you need to do things, and it's the way that we need to be doing things as a community together. Or we're gonna fail.
It lifts everyone up. I mean, if you start by exuding that confidence in yourself, then the hope is that it would inspire others to feel that confidence.
We most certainly do not want to train people to be disconfident and to oppress themselves in their pride.
Oh,
Be
that's
proud
awful.
of yourself.
That's
Be
awful.
proud of your accomplishments. Anyways, but we got into incels. He was talking about the incel community. You mentioned them briefly. Now, I wanted to say that with the incels, it's pretty much the mentality is they have what they call a Chad, is their idealized, and a Chad is their idealized version of an asshole guy, like a jock type. Any guy that's getting girls basically is a Chad.
Polo shirt.
Yeah. Like a big, strong polo shirt guy.
Yeah.
And
yummy.
they usually draw this Chad with like one of those disturbing mohawks. That's like, it's like a crew cut with the sides shaved. Sort
like
of
the
mohawk.
military cut, the old timey.
Right.
Yeah. Like
So,
out of a freaking Archie comic.
Right. Yeah.
Welcome to 2019, everybody.
What incels are, for anybody who doesn't know, if you checked into the sexuality course, the first video I did was on Strange Aeon's response clip to an incel forum. Incels, they have that idealized version, the Chad, and they're against Chads, but they're against women. They hate women, they're mad at women because they never got laid in high school, they're not getting laid, they're not getting any, and they say it's because they're nice guys. You see incels and nice guy forums, hashtag nice guys. I
don't even know what that means.
It means
nice.
that
what do you mean?
Exactly. They're
nice?
not. You're not being nice by
blanket statement. Every woman is a whore and only wants to be, devalued by gross, egotistical men. So you're just generalizing at that point, and you're pissing yourself off.
And not only that, but you're pushing the concept, and the laws of attraction will work with that.
Totally.
You're pushing that, and you're making it happen. You're
walking right into that trap.
You're creating the trap.
And so no woman is going to come near you if you're walking around like that.
And basically with incels, any incels that might watch, I'm going to go ahead and try and get this to as many incels as I can. You're not getting laid because you're not confident. And you're not confident because you're telling yourself not to be. So no, you're not getting laid because you're a nice guy. You're getting laid because you're a fucking asshole to yourself.
And why does someone that is confident automatically mean that they are cruel and mean? Why can't...
Because they got picked on in high school by... they think that high school goes on forever, and that, everybody's going to be like high school mentality.
You're a confident man who is also nice. My husband is confident and also nice. These are things that can be together in one, one happy marriage there. That it's, I just don't get the assumption that,
I like that kind of analogy, that the niceties and honor and what's it called? Where they say it's dead, chivalry. Honor, chivalry, nicety is not divorced from confidence. You should be confident about being nice, but no, you're not getting laid because you're not confident, and you're continuing to perpetuate that by telling yourself that there's some other reason and backing that and creating of yourself this monster, this veritable monster who's destroying any potentiality you have. Putting yourself down.
Wouldn't you find it hard also to be nice while you're walking around so mad all the time at the world and repressed?
Here's something.
How are you nice if you're walking around pissed off all the time and you
hate
all
yourself.
Women? Yeah, I mean, like, that's crazy.
There's this asshole who went out and shot a bunch of people because he was an incel and he was mad and he went out and shot people.
I vaguely remember that.
And the incels put him up on a totem like he's a hero to them, and they talk about shooting people. They talk about hurting women. They talk about, I don't know.
I can't remember.
They talk about they just hate on women, and they put women down, and they have like tag terms that they use for women. Like, I don't remember any of them offhand, but it's like implying that women are whores and shit.
Right.
And
the sick part too is that I won't deny that there's plenty of women that have low self-esteem and also low confidence in themselves that are kind of sucked into that drama relationship thing with the asshole guy that beats her up and blah blah blah. That for sure happens. That's a real thing.
Right.
And so no one's denying that that's a real thing, but you have to look at it from the point of view of all parties. That woman has probably been mistreated herself when she was younger. I mean, that's how these things develop. You don't just grow up one day and decide like, oh, I'm going to stay in a relationship with an abusive man. No, you've had some stuff happen to you. If you're in that situation, you're sticking around.
Right.
And so that's a sad thing. That woman probably needs help and a dose of confidence herself.
Precisely, and here's something that can be added to that on 2 counts. One, obviously, as she just said, that woman, if you're not likely to find an actually confident woman who's hooking up with a fucking dickhead.
Right.
So on one hand, that you got to look at it from her perspective and see the values in place, see the reality of it, what's likely occurring, and B, to boost your confidence. Again, she probably has a low self-esteem. She's probably not very confident. So, I mean, if you can just manage to be confident in yourself, chances are you can get her. Yeah. Take her from the asshole. I've done it many times. Seriously.
But then help her boost her confidence. If you at all can.
Do not hate women. Do not be fucking shitty. I'll fuck you up, every last one of you. That's my niche. Or my niche. That's my, whatever. That's my problem. That's my beat. I don't like you misliking women or just disliking, mistreating women. Don't fucking do that.
Alright, let's see what else he has to say. This guy.
Men who are assertive and traditionally masculine and tend to be dominant. It's actually not that big of a swing, though. It's not like 99% of women feel this way. I looked at a bunch of data, I've constantly looked at these stories, and it's something like 65 to 70% of women prefer dominant men versus submissive men, but there are a decent...
Okay. I would like to know where he's getting his numbers, his percentages. I think that's hilarious that you can just grab that number and, well, I read it on whatever. Like, how could you possibly know that or narrow it down? Which is so funny.
It doesn't matter because, I mean, most women are attracted to confident men. I think he's trading out dominant with confidence.
Well, he's actually using a lot of different terms that aren't all interchangeable, I don't think. I mean, he's talking about, he just said in the course of, 30 seconds or 20 seconds, the word dominant, assertive, submissive, masculine. Like, he's just kind of lumping all of these terms together, which I think is an it's a contrivance.
It's a contrivance in the sense that he's going to say this is like a scale here between dominant and submissive. Like, if you're not submissive, you're dominant.
Right. There's a whole other discussion that goes along with that.
Most women aren't going to like submissive men. They have brains. Those brains are programmed in a certain way. It's the evolution transpiring.
And we I think, do exhibit kind of some of that, like, wolf packy type of stuff. Sure. I mean, we're animals. We're mammals. That's obviously... But we've come a long way. We're not just walking around in the forest, smacking chicks over the head with the club and dragging her back to your cave. I mean, I
guess that's the general idea that incels are getting.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's how they see it. I guess that's possible. But I mean, it's 2019. There's a lot of time and evolution in between those two states of where we are now and when we were doing that kind of stuff. And I think it's what's the word? Careless to lump all of these terms together because they all mean very different things. So, right from the get, I'm saying whoever this guy is, I won't say his name. I don't want to put him on blast, his channel or whatever.
No, we have to. He's Timcast.
Oh, okay.
We're responding to Timcast. Feminists write about wanting dominant men. Can't see that all that well, but...
Alright, well then, that's
Timcast, feminists write about wanting dominant men, one wishes her husband would cheat. That's the name of the video that we're responding to.
Yeah, and it looks like he's got some other stuff here that, could be, it looks very different, so wide range of topics.
By the way, guys, we are, I think, maybe 4 to 5 minutes off of what may be our limit. So if we cut off, we'll continue, and we'll clip it together. Don't worry. But if we do clip off, sorry.
Alright, let's see what he has to say.
Phenomenon of women who like submissive men. Perhaps then it's these women who turn out to be feminists. I don't know. We have a funny story though.
No, you don't know.
Pluralist. Woman married to perfect feminist man wishes he would cheat on her. I'm so bored. I'm gonna do something first though. I tried digging into this a little bit, and as it turns out, I think Pluralist is editorializing this guy as a feminist because he's a co-parent in terms of domestic work. Nowhere in this woman's actual article does she talk about feminism. Nor on her Twitter account. I didn't find any. Maybe she is. Okay. But this woman's story is that her husband is Mr. Perfect. He's morally good. He takes care of the housework, and she's bored. And she wants him to cheat on her. And she wants someone more traditionally masculine. She does talk about how it, betrays her feminist side and stuff like that. But I don't think she actually ever explicitly says feminist.
Well, if she says it
first of all,
betrays her feminist side, then
she's
that's indicative, but it's not implying that she's actually a feminist. It's saying that she
I
has
guess
a
that makes
feminist
sense.
side.
But for starters,
Whoa.
there is no way that is true. As a woman, it seems utterly ridiculous to be in a marriage, and I don't know anything about this article or even if it's real or this woman or whoever. Apparently she has a Twitter page. He said he saw it, but whatever. So you're a woman, you're married to a guy that's morally good, takes care of, his husbandly duties or whatever, and you're so bored, but instead of, getting a vibrator, you immediately jump to, oh, I wish he would cheat on me.
Why?
That doesn't make sense. That's not a cure for your boredom in your relationship. That's weird.
Something that could very well be the case is this could be a younger woman, part of the newer generations, who is in fact afflicted with that victimization complex, in what case of course she wants him to cheat on her. She probably wants him to hit her too. She probably wants him to victimize her.
That is actually that's a whole different thing, I think, is the sexual violence kind of aspect, I think.
The BDSM culture sort of thing.
Yeah, and honestly, I understand that more than I understand this lady. I mean, the little bit of hair pulling and a couple of spanks is that makes sense to me. The submissive dominant relationship, and even the hardcore dominatrix and stuff. I think that when you really boil it down, it's about trust. It's a very interesting concept that is worthy of being explored. I think that that's really cool, and I'm glad that there are people out there that are exploring it, so that we can then learn through them. The BDSM thing that's whatever. That's easy to understand, but this weird woman saying, please cheat on me, what are you even talking about? Why are you even married? I don't get it. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't understand why that would be raised as a subject matter. Why, unless it's some kind of weird. It's if this.
Buy some lingerie
it's It's going to be likely that this might be some weird fetish this particular woman has.
You never know.
Pluralist, I think, makes that association. So let's look at this story, but I also have some other examples, like the New York Times and the Washington Post, talking about how, look, man, in my personal experience, the feminist women I know, they don't like feminist guys. I mean, maybe, but not the women I've met, not the feminists I've met, okay? But we'll get into that in a second. So I have this Washington Post and New York.
I'm curious what he means by don't like. The feminist women I know don't like feminist men.
Why?
What do you mean? Don't like? They don't want to date them. They don't want to be in.
Sexually.
They don't want to have relationships with them, or they can't be friends with those people. He's speaking in a lot of generalities.
It could
I don't
be.
Like that.
Which I'm going to say this because I know that my aunt is a feminist, and she's the man-hating feminist. So there's a chance that feminists of that nature won't like men in general and will actually be disturbed or angry, take hostility to men who portray themselves as being feminist as well.
Yeah, maybe because they think they're being fake and they're just pandery to get into your pants,
or they're being undermined in some way.
Yeah,
or,
that I guess I could understand, but
because they're seeing these men in a light that they don't want to see because they don't like men. So these men are being portrayed in a light that's good to them, and they don't want to see it. They want to reject it.
That contradicts their worldview.
Right, exactly.
All men are pigs.
And we get into
they
the
all
division
just
complex.
Fuck you and leave you.
Yeah, we get into the vision complex and the cognitive dissonance right there, where it's going to contradict their worldview, and so they're going to reject it. That's a potentiality. Keep that in mind.
That is also a potentiality for sure.
A time story. And one's like an anecdote, and one looks at data that shows that for the most part, women do want more dominant men, and feminist men are not that. For the most part, you can be a traditionally masculine man and respect certain concepts, like certain aspects of feminism, but not.
Feminist men can't be dominant? Who said that? Is that a rule?
Right, and that's going to have to go into making a distinction between sexuality and general attitude.
And the definition of feminism, I think, is something that's getting clouded over here.
We got that all out of whack and we've spoken to, we're still working on the Catalyst event regarding language, wherein we talk about the Tower of Babel scenario, wherein we don't understand the meaning of things anymore.
It means different things to different people.
So, yeah, feminism itself, the very concept of feminism is being blown out of proportion and turned into this monstrous thing now, which I think is a plot to turn us against feminism, to make it look like a monstrous thing. But
yeah, I remember seeing this post a while back that was like old posters from the 50s about how if your wife, wants to vote, then she's, she hates, her husband and worships the devil and like crazy, like crazy shit. Like people actually believe that stuff.
Right, it's propaganda.
I mean, it was propaganda, so I'd like to think that most people can recognize propaganda when they see it, and so I'm sure that it wasn't just like, crazy people running in the streets fucking, my wife worships Satan. Like, I don't think it was like that.
What I think it is this is like an instance of wherein with the feminism, it's like the Bollywood thing we were talking about, wherein it's pretty much, it's like word of mouth kind of propaganda that's not written, it's out in the, like social media propaganda, that sort of thing.
Well, social media, again, that introduces a whole different way of communication, and I think that feminism has become this like trigger word where when you get on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, it means something different than when you're just in your day-to-day life talking with your mother or your sister or your aunt or whatever, who probably consider themselves to be feminists, because hey, if you're not and you're a woman, then you're some kind of a traitor and you don't believe that women should have rights, and that's just crazy, so you have to be feminist if you're a woman. But then social media pops up and all of a sudden this word, it just makes everybody go crazy, and it's this extreme thing that, you have to shake your head and hate men.
It is becoming an extreme thing. And you know what the thing is that if that's the case, if it is a propaganda measure, then it's working. It's turning feminists into extremist feminists, and thereby it's propelling that making it worse. It's making them come across as monstrous because they're portraying themselves as monstrous because fucking media is telling them to.
Right.
Social
programming. That's how it's supposed to work. I mean, that's what they're trying to do. But I'd like to think that there's plenty of women. I don't consider myself to be a feminist
it's that they're highlighting
per se.
The bad things.
And I'm sure there's plenty of feminist women out there who aren't psychos.
No,
we'll just say
it's highlighting psychos. The ones that are, and that's thereby propagating the same. It's a propaganda campaign. But
and then this dude makes videos about
here's my answer.
His statistics, 65%.
His statistics taken from a context-sensitive scenario wherein we only have the statistics regarding the cases they're showing us, which are the bad ones.
Exactly.
So, but here's a potential answer I have is what we just talked about, the cognitive dissonance thing. The woman, if she's a feminist, especially if she's an extremist feminist, and her husband is morally good and right and even feminist himself, of course she wants him to cheat on her because she wants him to be a bad guy, because then she's
correct.
If she's the man hater, type, then of course she wants him
she's
to be an
proven
asshole.
correct
Right.
by that
She wants to be
very
validated.
action. Yeah, maybe. That's I guess a possibility.
Yeah.
But
could
it
be.
seems weird to just come out and say it. I mean, like, right?
Well, maybe
wouldn't you
she-
think that some of that would
maybe
be
she's aware of it.
unconscious?
Maybe she's aware that that's what's happening. She wants to highlight it in the
Well,
public.
then she's a little weird. I mean, that's obviously a very unusual thing to just come out and say. It doesn't seem that unusual for maybe
Maybe they're not telling
a crazy lady to kind of unconsciously want to be validated, and that seems all perfectly reasonable in an unconscious sense. But to
Right.
come out and say, like, I want my husband to cheat on me is so weird.
It could
What
very
are you
well
talking
be
about?
a case study wherein she presented that and said, well, this is, like, she could have known this is not correct. This is, and she's trying to point out that this is the way I feel about it, but they're not
in like an
revealing that part.
educational sense. We
Yeah.
should read this article. Alright, let's hear what he has to say here.
Not the way male feminists tend to be. You know what I mean? Like, let's read the story. Before we get started, head over to timcast.com/donate if you
No.
want to support my work. There's a monthly donation option with PayPal, cryptocurrency, physical address.
Nobody
Of
wants to
course,
support your
share
work,
this video
dickhead.
if you think what I talk about is worth other people hearing. Because
Sorry,
YouTube
support
doesn't want to suggest
YouTubers.
my videos anymore. It is what it is.
Support
Yeah,
us.
opinions
They
are
say
valuable.
a female journalist complained in an op-ed last week that her selfless and attentive husband leaves her so bored she wishes he would cheat on her. Writing for The Sun, Claire O'Reilly, 40, said she calls her spouse John Mr. Perfect. She described him as the stuff of feminist co-parenting dreams. If I told him on Friday I was spending Saturday chilling at a spa, he'd probably drop me there so I didn't have to drive. Then take the kids to their clubs before making sure the house was tidy. O'Reilly hinted that in her English household, stereotypical gender roles are flipped. Just last week he went out with a friend for a long planned pint, and I was in a foul mood before he went because I had to put the washing away and make the kids packed lunches, she said, suggesting her husband usually handles such domestic tasks. Kind of. You're being a little hyperbolic here, Mr. Pluralist, but we get the point. What this really is about, I think it's fair to say, remove the assumptions about feminism. We have a woman who has split gender roles, and that's fine. I'm not someone who's super hardcore into traditionalism, right? So if a guy wants to do the dishes, I really don't care. And I actually think it's really important that fathers do some of this work and set a good example for their kids. So this doesn't necessarily, in my opinion, make it overtly feminist. But what we are seeing is a woman who is upset that she's doing, flip gender role stuff and how she's bored by it. But let's read on, and then we'll go on to the
I don't get
celebrate
that.
17
That's something I'd
years
like
ago.
to point out here, is that how is it feminist to have a man take care of all the duties?
Plenty of men do that all the time.
Feminism, by definition, should have the woman taking over in some of these roles and
To have more power.
being independent, having more power.
Yeah, taking
Yeah,
care of
it's not
business.
feminist to have the big strong man take care of the weak little woman.
Yeah, that seems totally backwards.
It's backwards. It's skewed again. Another instance of us comprehending things backwards.
Yeah, this lady's pissed because she has to make the kids lunches. Like, why would you
Right.
be mad that you have to make a PB&J? Like,
So I'm super feminist. Why doesn't my man take care of everything for me? It's not. Feminism is not make men slaves, nor is it make women weak.
right.
Like, that's propagating the same idea we started with, that feminism arose from
Exactly.
and to fight against.
That's ridiculous.
So we don't right there. We don't know what feminism means.
Together, 13 married. But I wish he'd lie, cheat, defame, or slander just once, so that I could feel better about my own less than perfect character. Simply put, I'm bored of being married to a paragon of virtue. Interesting, huh? To explain why her marriage has nonetheless lasted, she turned to a study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology in August. And this says that when one partner is conscientious, the coupling can actually work better if the other is less so. But they say, is Claire O'Reilly surfacing a broader issue about who women are drawn to? They say that other research has confirmed anecdotal reports that women tend to be less attracted to respectful men than to bad boys. But let me clarify this.
No, that doesn't work.
Now we're talking about
talking
high
about
school age girls.
We're talking about high school age girls, but we're talking about, he used the word respectful. No. no women are not attracted to respectful men for being respectful.
That's ridiculous.
Like, what the fuck are you talking
And
about?
to straight up use the term bad boys, I thought we were talking about a grown woman in an adult marriage with another adult man
and
who
by the way,
kids.
She's 40 years old, so she's not part of the further generation. She's not part of the third wave. This is second wave. This is a second wave woman who should be. This is a woman. This is an individual personality complex concern.
So he's talking about 17-year-old girls wanting to be with bad boys and correlating it with a subject that is an adult woman who says that she wants her husband to be made so that she can feel better about herself.
So that she can feel better about herself. As
That's
I said,
so
this is a
weird.
personal issue with her.
Yeah, she should not even be married.
And she's not. She shouldn't be. She certainly shouldn't be representative of any faction of people's.
Not women, not feminists. Mm-mm.
So
no,
she's just a crazy lady. But
she should be representing her.
Not
therapist.
Necessarily crazy. Exactly. She's troubled.
This
But
is who I go to for
she's
my
not
therapy.
there.
That's who she needs to be
Right.
repping.
And they're not going to get very good reviews.
It's not working.
Yeah. But
wow. Bad boys.
Yeah.
Come on.
On top of it all,
Grow up.
meanwhile, how does bad boy correlate with disrespectful? Like, why bad boy? I mean, if you're like a badass kind of bad boy, break the rules guy, that doesn't mean you're not a respectful person. I mean, technically it kind of does.
Dirty
Yeah.
and just what?
See, we're not talking about the bad boy. We're talking